Hi friends, I hope you are well. Here at St. Philip's during the season of Lent, we've been walking through the liturgies as sort of a instructed Eucharist during these videos and during our announcement time during worship services on Sundays. So today I'd like to talk about the prayers of the people and the Eucharistic prayers that we use during our Eucharist on Sunday mornings. Right now it is Lent and we are using Rite 1, the traditional language form of the Eucharist. And in Rite 1, there is only one form of the prayers of the people that is offered to us for our use in that service. And it begins on page 328. And if you notice in the prayers of the people, we pray for the church, we pray for the sick, we pray for the departed. And in Rite 1, there are no responses from the people or the congregation. Only the leader reads the prayers, and then we can participate silently in our hearts. In the Rite 2 form of the liturgy that we use outside of the season of Lent and Advent, there are 6 different forms of the prayers of the people. So we have, as a church, in different parishes and different worshiping communities, have a choice about which form to use during the year, and sometimes we choose certain forms for certain seasons, and other times there are certain churches that write their own prayers of the people. And as long as we are covering certain areas of prayer, then we can create our own. So in the prayer book on page 383, the prayer book asks us to pray for the universal church and its members, the nation and all in authority, the welfare of the world, the concerns of the local community, those who are suffering, and the departed. So these prayers of the people, these forms, cover all those areas of prayer, and then we can supplement with additional words inside of the prayers or create our own. But we're asked to pray for all of those sections or subjects in our prayers. And then similarly, in the Eucharistic prayers, we have 4 different prayers that we can use in the Rite 2 liturgy, and there are 2 different forms of the Eucharistic prayer in Rite 1. And the Eucharistic prayer is the prayer that the priest says as they bless the bread and the wine at the altar during communion. So right now we're using Form 1, which is a longer version of the Eucharistic prayer in Rite 1. And then at other times of the year, we might use the Form 2 in Rite 1, or one of the 4 different prayers that are given to us or suggested for our use in Rite 2. And those begin on page 361 in the prayer book. And they are labeled A, B, C, and D. And you might note A seems very familiar, B seems very familiar because we use it a lot, and C and D are not used as much, but they are perfectly suitable for our liturgies on Sunday mornings. And there are also some supplemental liturgies that the church has created that use more inclusive language than the 1979 prayer book. And so you might notice that occasionally we or other parishes will use those occasionally throughout the year. And the choice is up to us for these prayers of the people, the prayers that we say in our hearts for the world and for the church and for the sick. And the Eucharistic prayers, we choose different versions according to our common life here at St. Philip's and according to the liturgical season and what's going on in the world. So as you come to church, you may notice that we use the different forms, and take note, see which strikes you and how it's meaningful for you. So I hope this gives you a little bit of enlightenment for why we do what we do during our liturgies, and I hope to see you on Sunday.